Led by Nyeem Young, the West Indies Academy came from behind to beat the Ireland Emerging Players 2-1 in their three-match 50-over series against both teams in Antigua. Nyeem Young is someone who I've rated highly, and although his performance in this series, except for the 75 not out in the final match, is nothing to write about, I have always expected from January of this year, when the West Indies team toured South Africa, that Nyeem Young would have been in that squad. He has not yet done so, but he continues to lead the West Indies Academy admirable. Credit must also be given to Ryan Griffiths. If someone should ask me who is the two best coaches in the region, I would say Andre Coley and Ryan Griffiths. Before the start of the series, he also noted that he would be making sure that all 15 players play during this three-match series. And so said, so done. I want to congratulate the entire team on winning this series against the Ireland Emerging Players. It must be noted that 4 members of this Ireland Emerging team have played international cricket, while no member of the West Indies Academy have done so. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I thank you for being here. I really appreciate your company. Joining me also for this morning show as we review the West Indies Academy win over the Ireland Emerging Players is Bobby Brown, our resident analyst. Good morning, Bobby, and welcome to the show.
Good morning and welcome to everyone.
As it was a truly exhilarating win, following the senior women defeat in Australia, followed by the women A team losing the T20 tri-series in Pakistan, the West Indies Academy winning this match amidst the controversy and the heated conversation surrounding the non-inclusion of Darren Bravo into the West Indies squad. This is something that we can all unite and celebrate around. Here again, we have a single task that will allow us to come together as West Indies fans, as the West Indies Academy won this series against the Ireland Emerging Players. I earlier said that the 2 best coaches in the West Indies, in my opinion, of course, is Andre Coley and Ryan Griffiths. That goes against the myth that you probably have to play test cricket or international cricket to be a good coach. I do not believe so. When you look at Barovec, the Australian coach that is going to lead the team against India in their 5-match T20 series starting tomorrow morning, which you will bring you live watch along on the Cricket Forum, Barovec have never played first-class cricket, yet still he is a part of the coaching setup of the world champion. Andrew McDonald, the head coach of the Australian team, only played 4 matches for Australia. You do not have to play international cricket to be a good coach. And Andre Coley, Ryan Griffiths, Barovec, and Andrew McDonald are all examples of that. Bobby, what did you see in this series to tell us that the West Indies Academy is improving, and give us also your general feedback on the series?
Well, what did I see with them? It was a very short series, but I don't know if Ireland is not that really good at playing spin, but the spinners were good. Bishop was good. Ned was good. I really like Ned as a bowler, you know. I think Ashmin Ned is a really good bowler. And in the batting department, I would have wanted to see them bat longer. You know, I would have wanted to see them bat even the last match, to bat first, you know, and see how well they could compose some runs. But overall, you know, it was a good series. I thought the first game they gave it away. They were probably a little bit overconfident, and, you know, They wrap it up in the last 2 games. And really proud of them.
Yes, I am too. I'm very proud of them. And to come from behind to win the series, it shows strength of character and it shows good planning and good motivation on the part of the captain and the coach. And so I was very happy about that. Diverging a little bit, just speaking of coming from behind, last night, as you know, Bobby, Jamaica came from behind to beat Canada. In Canada, 3-2 in that football match to qualify for the Cup of America. So congratulations to the Jamaican football team and those who support the team. But back to the cricket. The one match we lost, Bobby, we were chasing more than 200 runs. It's the only match in the series that we chase more than 200 runs. Is this a cause for concern?
Yeah, it's a cause for a bit of concern, because even earlier we were in the driver's seat and then, some of the batters just throw it away. So I feel like, yes, it's a cause for concern, but the good thing is those guys are still in development phase. So that's one thing I would work on as a coach, teach them how to compose an innings better because they had it in the bag and they gave it away.
Okay. Now, I've spoken to you earlier, I think probably 3 months or so ago, and said that I do not see any improvement in this West Indies Academy team. It's the same old, same old. Now, Bobby, I'm asking you, have you seen improvement in this team from the team that played, for example, in the Weeks Headley series?
Yeah, I've seen improvement in the team. Some of the guys you can call it, have graduated to the senior team. Guys like Ford, Mackenzie, Anderson is not there yet, but Anderson has graduated to the A team. So, and I've still seen even Pittman. I think Pittman is a better bowler this year than he was last year. Sinclair, I've seen improvement in him. Ned, Joshua Bishop, I've seen improvement in them. Nando as well. Just needs to rotate the strike a bit more, but I've seen improvement in the team overall.
Okay, thank you for that. Just looking at the performers in the series, we see where Nandu was the only batsman on the West Indies team to get more than 100 runs in all 3 matches. This is the aggregate total. This is not a 1 innings total. Followed by Nyeem Young, who got 76. And incidentally, Nyeem Young got 75 not out yesterday. So before this, he was only got 1 run, although he had batted only 1 time, because West Indies Academy won the second match by 7 wickets, and they won the third match by 6 wickets. So to be fair, not all the batsmen get a chance to really bat. Or you would say if you lose 3 wickets and 4 wickets, it means that your top 6 have batted all 3 times in the tournament, except for the second match. So Nandu with 131 runs, Young with 76, and Alleyne with 68 were the only 3 batsmen to score above 50 accumulatively in the series. Would you have expected at least 1 century? We saw Cummins from Ireland Academy getting 100. Markio is an ODI international player. But would you have expected at least 1 century in this tournament from the West Indies batsmen?
Most definitely. I expected somebody to score a century. But, like I said earlier, I'm a bit disappointed that they did not choose to bat first in one of those games because they had very subpar scores in the last 2 games.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. And I do not know who won the toss in the last match. Probably that is something, as you said, they could look at, because with the series tie 1-1 and it is a developmental series, maybe winning the toss, you should have done so and bat just to try different things. So I agree with you. When it comes to the bowling department, we see Joshua Bishop getting 10 wickets, Ashmead Ned getting 6, and Kevin Wickham getting 5. What do you notice about those 3 wicket takers, Bobby?
They're all spinners.
They are all spinners. And is it a case that although we have this legacy of fast bowling, is it a case that probably the dynamics have shifted and we should now look into develop our spinners more than just this nostalgia of fast bowlers?
I think I'm a bit 50-50 on that. If we have good spinners, we should keep them. But I think we're lacking in the fast bowling department, and we need better fast bowlers. But because we've seen where some of these spinners, when they go on the international scene, they don't really perform that well. So they might do good on the regional level, first class level. Some people say it's because of the pitches. We don't have it. The pitches are very low, so it's difficult for those batsmen. But I think, if we have good spinners, we should use them. But also we should work on developing good fast bowlers.
And Bobby, we see here that this was not necessarily, this was not a game against a West Indies team. It was against the Ireland team with one-day international players. Was it the pitch or was it that our left-arm orthodox spinner? We have so many in the Caribbean right now, so many who are doing reasonably well in the Caribbean. Was it the pitch or was it that our left-arm orthodox spinners are just a cut above the rest?
Yeah, I think they are just above the rest. There was, too much for Ireland.
Thank you very much for that.
And I want to go back on a point. I think that I see, they were, I don't know if they get any instructions from the coach, but they were bowling a lot of spin overs because even who it was, Pittman. I think in one of the games, Wickham was bowling before Pittman. And even though Wickham is a bowler, he's really a batsman, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think, Pittman and the other fast bowlers should be bowling before these bowlers.
Well, again, probably the pitch was dry, being that it was the third match. Well, it wasn't the third match on it because they had changed ground. They had played the first match at Servive, then they go to Coolidge and come back to Servive for the third match. So that is true, Bobby. It is sort of disappointing, or maybe disappointing is too strong of a word, but you would have loved to see Pittman, the pace bowler, bowl before the spinner, because in this final match also, Joshua Bishop opened the bowling. Now, one more thing before we go to the comments, to the comment in the comment section, and please slash a like on the video and click on that subscribe button. In that interview that Ains gave, and I don't want to go back to the West Indies interview, but in that interview, he said that Jordan Johnson should have been in the Jamaica squad for the Super 50 and not in the CCC team. We saw in the second match, and he got a ducks in the final match, a 2-ball ducks, and that happens to the best of us. In that second match, he scored 40 from 21 deliveries, looking just a cut above the rest. One, do you agree that Jordan Johnson should have been in the Jamaican squad instead of the CCC, like Ains have said? And two, do you think that is a genuine article?
Well, number one, I don't see a problem with him playing for CCC as long as he's playing. And I think, he would have gotten more opportunity there. And I like when younger players are playing on, let's say, a lower team, are playing against tougher opposition. So I have no problem with him not being in the Jamaica team. Where I would have problem is if there was no CCC and then he wasn't in any team. But to me, as long as he's playing in the competition, I'm fine with it. And I think he's the real deal. I think they have to find some way to fast track him. I think he looks the real deal in most of his matches that I've watched him. Very exciting prospect. If you ask me, I would have sent him to South Africa.
You'd have sent him with the A team to South Africa. Okay.
With the A team.
Okay, Bobby, we always welcome your opinion. Good morning, Merrick. Good morning, Mr. Casanova. Top of the morning to you too. Stephen Frame is saying, Ned is a very good bowler. If he played the first match, Ireland would have gotten a clean sweep. Okay, thank you for your opinion, Frame. But we also need to give credit to the coach who have said that he has 15 players in his squad and all 15, he's going to ensure that all 15 played at some time in the 3-match series. So good morning, Sherwin. Welcome. Do you agree with that, Bobby, that if Ned had played in the first match, the West Indies would have probably won the series 3-0?
I think so. I think, they wouldn't have gotten that much runs, because one thing with Ned too, he's a very economical bowler. And we've seen that in the CPLs as well.
Yes. So Sherwin is saying, I've been seeing the constant... Sherwin, I appreciate your comment, but we'll probably express those views another time, but we just want to stick to the academy right now and the 8-team tour that is going on. We need better cricketers, period. So Sherwin, all right, good. I agree with you that we need better cricketer, period. And do you agree with him, Bobby?
Yeah, but in the meantime, we have to use the best that we have.
That is so. Well, what I want to hear from Sherwin today is to tell me 3 things that you think that we can do. Not Cricket West Indies, no. We can do to produce better cricketers. Tell me that, Sherwin. We know the problem. Give us some solution today. Yes, we should develop young players. How? Give us the methodology. Tell us the approach that we should take, Sherwin. Shaquille, welcome to the show. Would this be the same squad that would play the 4-day series? More or less is the same set of players. As you see, I think Mansingh was in the squad. Mansingh was in the academy squad. I think, who else? The young left-handed batsman Mackenzie, who have graduated to the West Indies team, Matt Ford. So they are more or less the core of the squad, and that squad also was captained by Nyeem Young. Bobby, is this more or less the same squad that was there?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jay is saying that Jordan Johnson should be on the West Indies A team now. So Jay is agreeing with you, Bobby. And we see Sherwin say, yes, I will put Jordan John, and so too Sherwin is agreeing with you. And Shay saying, yes, he could have been Jamaica team, yes, but it was a good experience for him. First up for the CCC. My thought on Jordan Johnson on the CCC team, instead of being in a Jamaica team, I believe it was a better environment for Jordan Johnson than the Jamaican team. Do you agree with that, Bobby?
I do. You want him around young, fresh, enthusiastic guys. And that's what he got at CCC.
Yes. Christopher Bristol, good morning to you, my friend. Glad to see that you're up. Glad to see that it appears that you're sober. So good morning. And Bobby, Christopher Bristol is giving you an ear out. Is giving you an ear out.
We have one Christopher Bristol. Big up yourself.
Okay. So one of Sherwin's suggestions is that we play young players, let them learn on the job. Experience is the best teacher. Thank you for that suggestion, Sherwin. Some will agree with it, some won't agree with it. But you know what, Sherwin? You put forward a suggestion, and no one can say you never put forward a suggestion. So thank you for that suggestion, Sherwin. Whether they agree with your suggestion or not, whether we agree with your suggestion or not, you did put forward a suggestion. And so you're not only finding excuses, you're not only giving blames, but you have put forward a suggestion. So Mr. Casanova is saying, I somewhat agree with Bobby, but as a Jamaican, I would have liked to see Jordan with the Scorpions. I understand that opinion. Now, let us quickly just look at the South Africa West Indies A match, just the score. but we won't be here for a long time this morning. So South Africa batted yesterday and they made 287 for 9. Zori, who played Test cricket, made 55. Peterson, who played Test cricket also, is on 59. Fortune made 53. So the 3 top scorer for South Africa in their 287 for 9 yesterday declare, putting West Indies to face, I think, the last 8 overs in the afternoon session, which we see out. Seals got 2 for 33 in the. I think that is wrong there. I think Seals got 3 wickets. Do you remember how many wickets Seals got, Bobby?
Yeah, I think it's 3. I think he got 3 for like 20 some or 30 something.
3 for 23, and then Jordan got 3 for 61. So both Seals got 3 for 23, and Jordan got 3 for 61 when South Africa batted and made 287 for 9. I think at one stage they were 190 something for 1 or like that, Bobby.
The West Indies?
No, South Africa when they batted yesterday.
Yeah, they were like 190 something for 3.
Yes, and so West Indies stuck to the task. Kevin Sinclair got 2 wickets also, and we were able to bowl them out not bowl them out because they declared at 287 for 9. Now, West Indies batted almost the entire day today and made 341 for 9. The last man to go was Hakeem Jordan going stumped by Fortune off Pete. And I really want to look back at Pete's action, Bobby. Are you quite satisfied with his action? Have you been watching the game, the 18 game?
Based on what I'm seeing, I'm satisfied with it. It kind of looks unorthodox, but I'm satisfied with it.
Okay, but that ball that got Jordan, it really deviated as if he was bowling leg break, but it's left to be seen. When the West Indies batted, Chanderpaul made 78 at the top of the order, and Hodge made 73, and West Indies made 314 for 9 declared. They gave South Africa 3 overs to bat in the afternoon, and they negotiated it and were 3 without loss. Now, Moreke got 3 for 56. Yesterday, we saw where Chanderpaul almost got run out. He edged a ball. He also edged one between the keeper and first slip. But that is cricket. You take your chances. And today, he was at his brilliant best in scoring 78, while Kadeem Alleyne made 73. What do you have to say about the innings of those two, Bobby, today?
I mean, it was a brilliant innings, especially from Hodge. Hodge looked great. I wanted one of them to go on and get a century.
Yes, me too. I would have loved that too, Bobby. I would have loved if one of them had gone on and make 100. And maybe this is an issue here. The West Indies Academy, no century. This first innings, no century. Is that cause for concern, Bobby?
Yeah. I think they are losing concentration. And, it just take a little work.
Yes.
Because even with the academy, after a while, I don't know if Nandu, maybe he's not fit enough, but sometimes he looks tired. After he goes past his half century, he looks tired.
Yes. Okay, so Simple Jew is saying, thanks, Guy, for the fighting spirit that you all had put together. Continue to strive and keep a level head and listen to those that are encouraging you as you go on from strength to strength. Good words there for the Academy youngsters. Well done, Simple Jew. Well done. Alec Atanase, Jordan Johnson, and Kirk McKenzie are the future of West Indies cricket. That's Sherwin. One thing about Sherwin, Bobby, Sherwin always putting forward young players. Shaquille Ortney said, do you think Jamaica should bring in Jordan Johnson for the regional 4-day cricket? Yes, Shaquille, and I've addressed it. I have a video out there where I addressed it and said that Jordan Johnson must be in the Jamaican regional 4-day squad. It's a short video of about 45 seconds, and I have it on the home page. It is somewhere there on the home page. So I am one who believes that he should be in the team, and I'm sure that Bobby also agree with me. Vern Jacobs, at all levels, We need to think like the Australian. Always be prepared, always believe you can win. And every player must believe that they can transform a match. Well said, Vern Jacobs. I could not have said it any better. Where did you watch that match? It's on YouTube, the South African YouTube channel, and it starts 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. So the third day's play will start at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, Jay. Jordan must be in the Jamaican lineup for 4-day cricket. Agree with you, Mr. Casanova. Bobby, the ICC met a few days ago and they discussed the Sri Lanka situation, among other things. So very quickly, I'm just going to go through some of the things that happened, some of the outcomes from that ICC board meeting. And the first thing, and you remember that Sri Lanka have been suspended from international cricket. And so there were 3 things there about Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, they can continue to compete internationally, both in bilateral cricket and ICC events. So they have not been stopped from playing international cricket. The second one, which I don't quite understand, is that the ICC will control funding to Sri Lanka. Bobby, do you know what that means, the ICC control funding to Sri Lanka?
I think the ICC will step in instead of like when, they give West Indies the money and the cricket board deals with the other stuff. I think what they mean is they will do that in the meantime.
So you provide the invoices to ICC and they write the check to the entity that should get the money?
I think they'll send their people to run the cricket. Yeah.
Also,
to deal with the funding inside of Sri Lanka. And then maybe after a while, when Sri Lankans can find somebody, the ICC will remove themselves. I think that's what happened. I saw that happen to, I think, Trinidad, where they had some problems with FIFA, and that's what FIFA did. So I think that's what they're going to do.
Okay, but if that's the case, that's not bad, as long as the finance continued, but the funding continues and someone is there. We saw what happened to like USA Cricket a few years ago, that because there are some issues with their financials, some issues with their bookkeepings, the ICC was not giving the USA any money, any at all. So at least this is better than it was in that case where the USA was not getting any money from the ICC. And the third thing about Sri Lanka, which is very disappointing, next year World Cup and under-19 Cricket World Cup will move from Sri Lanka to South Africa. So come January next year, I think from the 13th of January to I think the 3rd of February, the ICC World Cup under-19, which was scheduled to be hosted in Sri Lanka, will no longer be there, but it will go to South Africa. What are your views here, Bobby?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed. I wanted to see it in Sri Lanka, but like I say, such is life.
Okay. But one of the most important things, and I cannot go through every outcome that took place at that board meeting. But the second most important thing that I thought came out of that important board meeting is that the ICC have banned transgender. So if you were a male and by some experiment or so you become a female, then you cannot take part in ICC event. And this is what they said. The new policy is based on following the following principles. And in order of priority is missed out there. Protection of the integrity of women's game, safety, and I guess if you were a man and somehow you become a woman, you probably still can bowl at 85 miles per hour. And I think that's safety there. Fairness and inclusion. And this means any male to female participants who have been through any form of male puberty will not be eligible to participate in the international women's game, regardless of surgery or gender reassignment treatment they may have undertaken. What are your views on that, Bobby?
I'm right with the ICC. If you say you're a transgender, and you're still a man, you still have man features, like you say, you're still gonna bowl at 85 miles per hour. You can't be playing with the woman.
Yeah, that is so true, Bobby. At this time, we are joined by Delroy Bent, and just before we go through the other two key outcome from the ICC board meeting, we are just going to talk to Mr. Delroy Bent for a few minutes about his cricket tournament, his youth cricket tournament that is coming up in Tampa that start this weekend. Good morning and welcome to the show, Mr. Bent. How are you?
Good morning. All is well. All is well. It's almost Thanksgiving here, so all is well.
Yes, Bobby is with us today, and Bobby lives in Fort Lauderdale, not too far from you. So, Mr. Ben, tell us some about the tournament that is going on this weekend, sir.
Well, the tournament is going to be run December 1, 2, 3. There's an opening game on the 26th in Tampa, where Excelsior and Taki will play the University of South Florida and one of the top Caribbean team in the area. So it should be a festive day. It will be like an opening ceremony where the Caribbean style of cricket, food, drinks, music, and the community welcome the two teams from Jamaica. We have 8 teams that secured their places in the tournament. It will be a 3-day tournament with double headers at different venues. So Tampa, Wesley Chapel, right, will host the games. 2 different counties, but they are close counties, neighbors,
Yes, sir. And where can we see these matches? If you are not able to attend the matches, where can you see them? And if you attend these matches, is there a cost to come into these stadiums?
No, the tournament is free to the community. We just wanted, we were trying to promote the game, so we wanted to be easy, free, so the community can come out and enjoy themselves. Similar environment like we are in Jamaica or anywhere in the Caribbean. That is the kind of festive feeling we want to build for this tournament.
Originally, there were 3 Jamaican schools scheduled to take part, but only 2 made it. What happened to the third school?
Mayday had some immigration issues, which they didn't get through with their visas because of some issues they have. But I don't think it's something that will stop them next year because we're trying to make this an annual event. So hopefully next year we'll have more teams. But they had an issue with some visa issues, so the team did not get their visas.
Bobby, do you have anything to ask Mr. Bent?
Not that much. I guess you asked my question. I just wanted to know where we could see it.
Yeah, okay, so YouTube. We're going to try to YouTube. Game should be on YouTube. Yeah, I'll get you some more information on that, Mr. Brown, as soon as we sort out the arrangement.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Ben, please sell the tournament to your audience, to this audience right now that are listening to you. Please sell it to your audience.
Okay, so this is about youth development. We're trying to, because cricket in the Caribbean itself is at 0. So we're trying to find an avenue for these youngsters after high school, after Headley Cup, to transition into the US, which I think is going to be one of the most lucrative market for cricket over the period. US has 3 venues for World Cup, so that show you where cricket is going to go. So we want these youngsters to be exposed just after high school, going into the universities, because the universities are trying to play cricket and play it at a competitive level. The concept here is to get the youngster after Headley Cup into the universities and then hopefully get it into IPL, which I know will be big in the US over a period because they're working on it. Most of the owners for IPL teams live in the US, and the US cricket is going to grow. So that is the whole concept and the idea. A different avenue for young cricketers leaving school, just like in track and field, pen relays, they get on to go to pen relays and go on to university. That is basically the same concept. To open a door, another door for cricket, which I think is dying in the Caribbean. So that is the whole concept of the tournament.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bennett. Anything further you would like to add, sir?
Well, what we'll always need is sponsorship. Jamaicans live across. Well, last time I checked, we have about 1.5 million Jamaicans living between Fort Lauderdale and Tampa, the Orlando area. We think if the Jamaican manufacturer who send their goods into these areas, goods and service, I think this is a good avenue for them to advertise. Because, you always need sponsorship. These youngsters, the schools don't have money. So any help you can get from any sponsor, Jamaican sponsors especially, it will help the tournament. But hopefully next year is a start. We're not looking for any miracle. But as we build, as we grow, we'd love to have some sponsors on board, some major sponsors, so it can be easier for the school to go through this process.
Mr. Bennett, I want to congratulate you on what you're doing, sir. I think that you're onto something. I really appreciate and love these things, and I wish all the success for your tournament. And I'm looking forward to us working out that arrangement so that the matches can be shown live here to a very wide audience. Thank you very much, Mr. Bennett, for stopping by today, and all the best.
No problem, man. Have a good day. Yeah?
You too,
Bye.
sir. Bobby, what do you think about those tournaments? What's your opinion on those tournaments? How effective do you think they are?
I mean, I love the idea of those tournaments. They can be very effective, and especially he says the university wants to start playing cricket. It can provide another avenue for a lot of cricketers that has got lost in the system. So that would be a great initiative.
Okay, you were talking about the gender equality and that ICC have finally decided to follow the way what you said, to follow what other sports are doing in banning transgender athletes. So continue on that point, Bobby. You were saying.
Oh no, yeah, I'm saying that's pretty common sense. You can't have males competing in female sports because we are naturally bigger than them, stronger than them, faster than them. So it would not be fair. So given the fact that ICC has to come now and just put it out there like you are banned, I think it should be that from the start. They should not be allowed to compete in women's sports because you're still a man.
Thank you. Jamor Small, good morning. Welcome to the show. And Jane saying, very good decision. Man, I'm impressed. He's saying very good decision. I think he's talking about the transgender issue and say, Mr. Casanova is hoping that Taki will win. Mr. Casanova, we hope to be showing it on this channel. However, if we are not showing it, we'll be interviewing most of the guys from Excelsior, the coaches, and from Taki also, and so we'll speak to them. So if it's not here, the two final outcomes from that ICC board meeting, which I'm just going to share with you quickly. The first one is that women and men will now start getting equal pay for the same tournament, the same match. You know that when a woman umpire ODI match, she get less pay than if the man umpire that same match. Now, however, if it is a woman ODI, everyone is going to get the same pay if it is a man ODI. So there will be equal pay across the board. No discrepancy in the pay. So it said equalizing match day pay for ICC umpires across men and women cricket and ensuring that there's one neutral umpire in every ICC Women Championship Series from January 2024. So we are going to have, so like usually in the past, if West Indies is hosting, say, Ireland, all the umpires would have been West Indies because the ICC never used to fly or accommodate a neutral umpire. So, but now they're going to ensure that one neutral umpire. Your perspective on that third outcome from the meeting?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much needed. You know, you always need a neutral umpire. For me, I would have all the umpires neutral.
Okay, thank you. Now the fourth and most interesting one, and I think this is very, very interesting. There'll be a stop clock for ODI cricket and T20 cricket. So the ICC is going to try a stop clock between December 23 and April 24. If the bowling team is not ready to bowl the next over after the previous over have been completed within 60 seconds, there'll be a 5-run penalty imposed the third time it happens. Do you agree with this, Bobby? I am always in agreement with anything that is done to speed up the game. What are your thoughts, sir?
I very much agree. Nowadays, I see too much time wasting in the games. You know, these guys are taking so long to bowl. You know, it's so much time wasting.
Yeah,
that so is so. I am fully in support of that.
Yes, I'm fully in support of that also. Mr. Casanova, the intention is to show it here. If it is not going to be shown here, Mr. Casanova, I will inform this community where they can watch those matches. And I'm sure that Mr. Bent will come back on to tell us where we can watch it. Have a good day, everyone. Please slash a like on the video and click on that subscribe button. Thank you for being here, Bobby. Any final word?
Let's just hope the West Indies can beat South Africa. They say we haven't beat them, and the last time we have toured them is what, 23 years ago. So let's hope, you know, the boys can win. And I'm very proud of them so far. They've been very good.
Yeah, it's a nicely balanced match. And please get up tomorrow morning and watch that match. It starts at 3 a.m. in Jamaica. I think 4 a.m. in the Eastern Caribbean. Have a good day, everyone. One love, and take care of your loved ones. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye, bye.